Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend. And if you threw a party, invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say, thank you for being a friend.
Oh my God, look at this. We are together. It is Emperor 22 Vu.
And Empress 22, Miss Frank.
And yes, we are not in our regular location because today we had a Pride delivery. Yes, we are spreading Pride around the state of Connecticut, right? Doing performances, aren't we?
So thank you to everyone who during the month of May purchased a Pride delivery. So we had our first one yesterday in
Yes.
New Haven, Connecticut for the most darling 1-year-old.
A 1-year-old birthday party, amazing family. And today, two of our members, George and Mark Hicks Richards, have us at their gorgeous home, thus the amazing ambiance and background. And they were so generous to give us the space today, weren't they?
Oh, they were.
Yes.
So we are now here shooting a live CT Connection in person with the two of us together. You know the pandemic is close to ending when we're like in the same room.
Hey, we're gonna party! Yes! Hi, Kate Reynolds. Hi, y'all. Oh, so of course, as always, my darlings, welcome to CT Connection. We are making community connections near and far, highlighting our beneficiaries, introducing community leaders and initiatives in Connecticut, and celebrating our membership. And the cherry on top, we are raising funds for 3 amazing beneficiaries.
That is right. And we have a whole team here at CT Connection. It's not just the two of us. We have an amazing StreamYard producer, Patrick Dunn, a.k.a. Monarch 20 Kiki Lucia. Our Venmo and PayPal manager, our fearless treasurer, Kate Reynolds. And if you are looking to donate, as Frank said, we are raising funds today for our 3 amazing beneficiaries. Our Venmo is at CT Imperial Court, and our PayPal donation link, you can be found at ctimperialcourt.org/donate.
Yes.
And so today our episode is Pride Pioneers because it is Pride Month.
That's right. Pride pioneers and leaders of our community. Let me tell you, we've learned a lot from all of them, and we wouldn't be here if it's not for them, right? And it's so important. Yeah.
And during Pride season, it's really important to remember that is really what Pride is about. I mean, it is about, getting to wear all the rainbow and all the flashiness, but remembering the history of Pride, all the people that did amazing things to get us here. So that is really the purpose of the show today, to celebrate all those accomplishments.
Yes, indeed. And although we are only an hour and a half show, we chose some amazing, amazing guests as always. But before we do, let's talk about our beneficiaries. What do you say, darling?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So we have 3 amazing beneficiaries this year. The first one is A Place to Nourish Your Health, based out in New Haven. They started their work with the HIV/AIDS community and folks who are helping those with HIV/AIDS. They've expanded their programming so much to other health concerns, mental health, behavioral health, and they've been doing great things all throughout the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. And the New Haven Pride Center, which is an LGBTQIA+ organization in New Haven, Connecticut. They've not taken one day off during the pandemic. Their food program fed thousands of people. Our scholarship, the Imperial Sovereign Court of All Connecticut Scholarship, and a number of scholarships are managed by the New Haven Pride Center. Case management, you name it, they do it, the New Haven Pride Center.
And finally, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention Connecticut chapter, an organization that's literally saving lives, that their mission is to reduce suicide and to reduce depression. They do support groups, they do research, they have hotlines. So if you are looking for resources, please check out the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention.
Oh, yes, indeed. And one of the ways that we're hoping to raise some funds for those amazing beneficiaries today is by auctioning off this gorgeous jewelry set. This earring set and ring set. Aren't those gorgeous? Later in the show, darling.
They get a ring with it today.
They get a ring with it today.
A full set. And they're in the rain colors.
They are in the rain colors.
Just noticing. So we have a full schedule for Pride Month. I mean, let's just say it is Pride Month, but Pride is every month.
Every month. All the time.
All the time. I mean, it's a little bit ramped up this month, and we'll take it because anytime that our community can get visibility and get a little extra boost, and if corporations want to throw a little bit of money our way, let's do it. But just remember that after June ends, it does not end there. But we do have a lot of things going on for Pride Month.
We do. We have our Pride deliveries, which we'll be delivering every month in and around the state of every weekend around the state of Connecticut. We're super excited. And we have Electra's Electrifying Review for our Shea Saturday at the Shea Est on Wethersfield Avenue in Hartford, Connecticut next Saturday. And we are super excited about that. So please come out and attend if you can. And if you can't, well, you know, it's okay. We love you anyway.
Yeah, and we have a whole bunch of out-of-town guests coming through for that, so it's going to be fun. I know there's some folks from Buffalo coming. Rhode Island will be in the house. So definitely check it out. We're definitely always happy to see our out-of-state family. So if you're ever coming to Connecticut and want to check out an event, definitely reach out to Frank or I, and we will make sure that you get the red carpet treatment.
Yes, and that Electra's Electrifying Review is hosted by Empress 11, 13, and 19, Electra, and our amazing Imperial Crown Princess, Bonnie Petite. We are very excited about that. We can't wait. Yes. And talk about the Shea. I mean, come on. We can't say more about the Shea. If you are in and around the state of Connecticut, please go. And that was Dowager Empress Tallulah. There she is. There she was. Please go and support the Shea. There she is. Hey, Tallulah. It's a family affair today, darlings. They really have maintained community space during the entire pandemic as they could, and we just love them. John Lewis Pepe, thank you so much for all you do for us and our entire community. So, yay the Shea.
Yep, and this month we're also branching down into the Fairfield County area.
Yes, to the south, darling.
To the south, and we have a TCC drag brunch bingo benefiting the Triangle Community Center. So we are going to take our stab at pulling balls, calling numbers, whatever they do for bingo. And those proceeds that benefit the TCC, definitely call ahead and make your reservation for June 19th drag bingo brunch.
Yes, very, very excited about that. And we're very excited about this because Monarch 20, Kiki Lucia, and myself and Empress Morgana Deluxe are going to be a part of Trapeso La La Drag Brunch hosted by the one and only Dolores Degage, Sunday, June 27th, with seatings at 12 and 2 benefiting the New Haven Pride Center. So we are super excited about that. Please come out and support.
I feel like this event rundown gets longer and longer every time.
It does. We got lots of events, baby.
But that's a great problem to have.
It is.
But as much as there are great things happening and we're celebrating Pride, we do also have to remember that we are currently still in the middle of a pandemic, and there are folks that aren't able to go out, and there are folks that are missing from our communities because they have passed on. So Frank and I would just like to have a moment of silence virtually. So in your homes, wherever you are, we're just going to do a brief moment of silence to remember those we've lost due to COVID.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and so we lose fewer people in the future. Please, if you are able to, and if it's available to you, please get your vaccines as soon as possible.
Get your vaccines, people. They're available now almost everywhere. And really think about the privilege that we have in the United States. Look at India, look at Brazil, look at these countries that are in major difficulty because they do not have as much access to vaccines as we do. So we certainly respect your political or religious views, but please, if you find it in your heart, reach your heart and get the vaccine, not just for you, but for your family, friends, and community. That's for sure.
And I just want to say hello to a bunch of folks that we have tuning in. I see Dottie Rose is here from Halifax.
Hi,
we love our Halifax family. Our Imperial Crown Princess tuned in. Miss Bonnie Petite. I know Bella is watching from Western Massachusetts. So we are so glad to see you all, and we have an amazing lineup of guests for you today.
We do, as always. We have Diana Lombardi, the Executive Director of CT Trans Advocacy Coalition.
We have in Cal Edwards, Cal Community Corner, he is interviewing Tia Lynn Waters, affectionately known as Bubbles, a pioneer of the New Haven drag scene.
Love Bubbles so much. We have Empress 13 Morgana Deluxe with a special performance for you.
Yes, and our final guest is Emperor Tree from the Imperial Court of New York, current reigning emperor, two-time emperor, Stonewall pioneer. We had a great interview with Tree, and we can't wait for you to see it.
Tree has our hearts. And if you know Tree, then he has your hearts too. There's no doubt about it. And so we have lots of amazing stuff. A little bit more information about some of our guests, darling. Yes, so Diana Lombardi is a graduate of UConn's School of Social Work with a concentration in community organizing. I mean, you name it, we have the most amazing community, and so therefore we have the most amazing guests, right?
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
Tia is a visual artist, an out and proud trans woman. Bubbles dedicates time and energy to bring awareness, support, and visibility to Black and brown trans folks come through.
Yes,
through performance and activism.
Then we have Empress 13 Morgana Deluxe, the legendary drag performer, teacher, dancer, actor, mother to our reign. I'm a deluxe girl. I mean, you know, come on. I cry a lot. I'm a deluxe girl. Lots of shoulder action, right? I'm a deluxe girl. We adore her.
And as you mentioned before, Tree, I mean, what accolades does Tree not have? It would probably be a shorter list, but an advocate to the LGBTQIA plus people worldwide, given speeches over 20 countries, recipient of multiple awards, keys to the city, keys to our hearts. So, I mean.
Yeah, and I just want to quickly add that Diana Lombardi, in addition to being the executive director of the CT Trans Advocacy Coalition, volunteers as the transgender advocate for the Hartford Gay and Lesbian Health Collective, worked for multiple nonprofits, served on multiple committees and task forces, including CT Hate Crimes Advisory Council. So come on, people. Our guests are amazing. 3 words, amazing. Thank you.
Yes. Yay to Mom Morgana Deluxe.
Yes.
I'm not sure which of her children that was. There's only about 50,000 of them.
Yeah.
But cheers to Mama Morgana.
Cheers to Mama Morgana and to all of our guests. That is for sure. And so guess what? Guess what time it is?
It's time for To Quote a Queer.
To quote a queer, to quote a queer. And so To Quote a Queer is this fabulous text, a compendium of wit, wisdom, and devastating remarks, edited by John Lassard. So what was your choice, darling?
My choice is from Rosie O'Donnell on self-awareness.
Okay.
With no one around to answer the question, I made up my own. I made a judgment, I deduced, I calculated, I became an authority on nearly nothing and almost everything.
Wow, that was pretty fabulous. Talking about deductions and calculations. I mean, you're a big math person. So, you know, that was fitting. And so my choice is the most amazing, fabulous, legendary performer, Ethel Waters, on self-awareness. She said, I've always been a person to know her own mind. I haven't understood myself, still don't. I'm complex. But I know what I think and what I believe. And that is so very much important. We're all on a journey, aren't we, darling?
We are.
Yes, yes, yes. So kind reminder, if you would like to donate today to our 3 amazing beneficiaries, our Venmo information is streaming CT Imperial Court. So anything is appreciated. And if you do not have anything to donate, because we recognize people are in a tough financial position due to the pandemic, we're just glad that you're here. It's about making connections near and far. We are family. Happy Pride, right? So we ready?
I think we're ready for our first.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, so I have to repeat this because we must celebrate the work of this amazing individual. So Diana Lombardi, a graduate of UConn's School of Social Work with a concentration in community organizing, the executive director of CT Trans Advocacy Coalition, volunteer as transgender advocate at the Hartford Gay and Lesbian Health Collective, worked with multiple nonprofits, serves on multiple committees and task forces, including CT Hate Crimes Advisory Council. Please welcome to our virtual stage, Diana Lombardi.
Thank you.
Hello, Diana. How
Hello.
are you?
Very good. And thank you for having me.
Oh, we're so glad that you're with us. We're so glad. We're honored.
And that was the abridged version of Diana's bio. I mean, Diana's actual bio spans multiple pages.
Really, I mean, just so impressive. But we know that is because you have dedicated your life to ensure, the rights of so many people in and around our community, and we thank you for that. And we love you for living your truth.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So I have the honor and the privilege of working with you on the board of the Connecticut Trans Advocacy Coalition. But I am pretty much a newbie to the board. I've been there for a few years now, but you have much more history and much more experience with the coalition than I do. So can you tell our audience a little bit more about how CTAC started and its mission and how folks can support?
Well, CTAC started originally as It's Time Connecticut. That was back in the mid-90s. And it was started by Jerry Marie Leasingang. She went down to Washington for the national convention there, It's Time America. And they said all politics are local. So she came back and formed It's Time Connecticut. And through there, she incorporated it in 2000 and changed the name to Connecticut Trans Advocacy Coalition. And she worked to help pass a hate crime law in Connecticut. And also she was immensely helpful in passing the non-discrimination law for trans people here in Connecticut. She worked for years on that and dedicated her life to that. And for me, I started back around 2003, 2004 with CT, Trans Advocacy. And I became executive director around 2012, I think it was.
Wow. Yeah. And how can people support or volunteer for CT Trans Advocacy Coalition?
Well, we're a very small organization, as Vu knows. There's like 6 of us, and we're all non-paid volunteers. And we're always looking for board members. And our main, what we do mainly, yes, we can have you. talk to Vu.
I, as a reminder, I am on the board of CTAC, so that means like more meetings with your emperor.
That's okay. I like him.
Yeah, and so mainly it's our conference that we hold every year, which is coming up June 12th this year. Normally it's in person, but because of the situation, we're virtual this year.
Yeah.
And most of the work we do is behind the scenes, working on legislation and also helping agencies here in Connecticut to be trans friendly.
Mm. And thank goodness you do, because as we know, we celebrate Pride and we celebrate, all of the milestones, but we recognize we have so much more work to do to get to full equality and full safety for all individuals, but particularly those in the LGBTQIA+ community and other marginalized communities as well. So I'm just curious, Diana, so you volunteer all over the state with multiple organizations, as we've said. What advice might you have for LGBTQIA+ young folks who want to get involved with their community as advocates?
Well, if most nonprofits are always looking for volunteers, and I would say start out helping, like the Hartford Gay and Lesbian Health Collective, the New Haven Pride Center. They always need somebody there to type things and do work around the place and also be an advocate for them. And for us, trans people, being out and proud is really important. And by being seen, it's really important. So you don't really have to volunteer for an LGBT organization. Join the Lions Club or Kiwanis. Be yourself and be out there and be in public. And that's what makes changes. It's not just working around volunteering, it's being out in public and showing people who we are.
That's right. That's so true. That's so true. I mean, as an educator, and in all professional work, we are out, we are proud, and we forget about the impact, right, of that.
Right.
So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and it kind of speaks to like the perspectives that people have on Pride nowadays.
Yeah.
And that big conversation, is Pride a corporate thing? Is Pride a media thing? And like, what are your perspectives on that, Diana, as someone who does a lot of community organizing? And how do we kind of get back to this grassroots version of Pride where it's really more about the community and making change?
Well, I think Hartford Pride is doing a good job this year in being at Bushnell Park. When we're at Pratt Street, was it?
Mm-hmm.
It was very narrow. There was no things there for children. We have to look at families. When I went to the 10th reunion of passing the Marriage Equality Act, what was unique was there was a bunch of 10-year-olds running around, at the reunion for that. And that was really nice to see the family. And I think that's what we have to push, is the fact that we are just like everybody else. We have families, we have our desires and our wants. And, we have to be out there. And just, when I go shopping at the supermarket, I'm a very out trans person. I joke that if you can't tell I'm trans, you need glasses and a hearing aid. And so just by being out there, we change people's minds. As far as activism, when a bill comes up, call your legislator. They love to hear phone calls from their constituents. They don't like those chain emails where somebody says, well, here, click on this link and we'll send you the email to your legislator. A personal email or a personal phone call really goes a long ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we want to thank you for everything that you do every day for our community, because really, I think without people like you, we would not be able to exist in space the way we do, and to be as visible and to be as open about ourselves. So we love you and we appreciate you. Yep. And we thank you for all the work that you do. And I would love to be on the board. Let me tell you, I would love to be. You just let me know, okay?
Okay.
You may not want me to, but I'm happy to do it.
You can talk to our treasurer.
I would like to be on the board. Okay, good times. Diana, thank you so very much. We love you. Thank you for your time today.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, anytime. Lots of love.
Okay, bye.
Exactly right, Harper. Inspirational.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's for sure. Hi, Harper, darling. Hello, my honey. And so, oh gosh, Diana's just really such an amazing human being.
And once again, folks, save the date. This next upcoming Saturday is their annual conference. It is virtual via WebEx this year. Mm-hmm. So June 12th, transadvocacy.org. You can find the registration information on there. A great conference about transgender issues, health, law, you name it, they discuss it. Plenty of workshops planned. So if you're interested in learning more about the community and educating yourself, definitely check out that conference.
Yes, indeed. And now it is time for our regular show segment hosted by our amazing, darling friend and loved one, Lord Kyle Edwards, segment producer of Kyle's Community Corner, frontline worker and valued member of the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut, with his amazing, amazing, amazing guest, Tia Lynn Waters, known by her friends and loved ones in the community as Bubbles. Take it away, darling.
Hello everyone and happy Pride. Thank you for tuning in. Each one of us carries multiple identities. So many of our identities interconnect. It is this intersectionality that connects us. If we take the time to explore and embrace these intersecting identities, we will realize we have more that is similar, and we are more connected than we are different. Together, we are stronger. We can move mountains, and we can build a better tomorrow. So it is my pleasure to actually bring on someone who truly embraces these. I would like to introduce you to Miss Tia Lynn Bublicious Walters. Miss Waters, also known as Bubbles, has been performing for over 30 years. She is a trailblazer and one of the founding queens of the New Haven drag scene. She has performed in every LGBTQ plus venue throughout the New Haven area, but this is not all. She has also graced the stages throughout Connecticut, in New York, and also even in Europe. If that wasn't enough, she is also a talented visual artist, and I have seen her art as well. It is very inspirational. She truly embraces taking what is going on in the world and turning it into the art so that we can see it. And of course, our art has been displayed throughout many different venues throughout the area too. Through her performances in art, she addresses the many political issues we face as a community. She is a treasure, and it is my pleasure to have her here today. Give me 1 second. Well, we are having a little bit of technical difficulties, but that is perfectly fine. So again, it is Pride Month. Welcome. Of course, it is time to celebrate ourselves. We have overcome quite a bit. So much has happened over the past few years. Even myself, I was not very secure with myself coming out. I'm still having my own internal battles with it. But it's people that we are introducing you to today that are actually giving me energy to be more true to myself. Hence why I am wearing a flag and I'm sitting behind a flag.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello, John.
Yeah,
Technical difficulties. What are you going to do?
it's
It
the
doesn't
internet.
mean that you are any less fabulous. And so I just think we should take a moment and celebrate all the amazing work that Kyle has done thus far for this fantastic, fantastic segment. And so I know for our first episode, we're on episode 5.
We're on
Can you
episode
believe-
5, yeah.
episode 5. So we had a conversation, Kyle, about sort of your interest in being a part of this. Do you want to share that with our audience, sort of what your thoughts were in crafting this segment?
So my intention was to introduce people to people that we don't normally talk with, but mainly to highlight the intersectionality that we all have. My lived experiences that I have, or the communities that I'm a part of, also cross over with communities that you're a part of. I am a person of color. I am also bisexual as well. I intersect, of course, with you and with Vu. We may not walk the same path, but the many things that we experience, we can relate to.
Mhm.
Exactly. Things that I may see may not be easily understood by someone who does not walk in my shoes. And that was the entire intention of this particular segment, but also to complement what you are doing. Both of you are doing something incredibly important. Our community in Connecticut is beautiful. It is strong. It is vibrant. And that's what I seek to do.
Yeah, and you are doing that. I mean, we're just so grateful that you are our partner in this, along with our amazing producer, Patrick Dunn.
Yeah.
I mean, we just couldn't do this without both of you. And you are amazing member of our family, of our court family. People don't know how much work it is to do a virtual talk show. Let me tell you, it's a lot of work, baby.
Yes.
I know.
If people could only see the messenger chat between Kyle, Patrick, myself, and Frank, and the amount that it goes off at all hours of the morning, evening, and afternoon to produce these shows. So we do really appreciate all you do for the show. And I love what your segment brings. I think intersectionality is 100% important. And I love what you said about pride, because I think as great as pride is, we also have to remember that at least the three of us hold a certain privilege at this point on being able to celebrate Pride.
Yeah.
And being as comfortable as we are, and a lot of that has to do with the pioneers that we're highlighting today.
Mm-hmm.
But I know 10 years ago, I also wasn't at a place where I would be as out and proud as I am now. And I know there are folks watching this show that may not be in a place where they would like to be. And that doesn't make your experience any less valid than anyone else's.
That's right.
So whether you can make a pride parade or you can't make a pride parade, or where you can wear a rainbow or not, being who you are and knowing who you are, that's what the important part is.
That's right. And I came out very young. I came out when I was 14, and my family was very accepting. Thank universe, thank goddess, whatever's up there. My work is very accepting, but we have to recognize that we still have states in this country in which you can be fired for being LGBTQIA. And that is frightening. And so Vu was right. We do live in a sort of privilege in that we can be ourselves everywhere we go, right? If you know me and Vu, our aesthetics are not that different from what they are right now on a daily basis, right? And so it is true. Kyle, I know that you had Yatia Lynn Waters, affectionately known as Bubbles, today, and we had some technical difficulties, but I just hope people understand that Bubbles was one of the founders of the New Haven drag scene. Oh, and I have a feeling that she is ready now, so we're gonna let you go. So take it away, baby.
All right. Hold on one second. Well, hello.
Okay. Everybody's frozen.
Don't worry about it. It's 2021. Internet is they're still working on it. I mean, we just had dial-up internet not even a couple years ago, so you're fine. Don't worry about it. How are you doing today, Tia?
Having trouble connecting, often caused by unstable internet connection.
Well, I do want to first and foremost say
Can you
thank
hear
you.
me?
I can hear you. Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, hello. I
Can you hear me now?
baby.
Good.
I can hear you now.
What's going on?
Okay, first of all, I'm calling shade. They kicked my black ass off as soon as you popped up. They booted my black ass. They said, bitch, you're gone. Wow. Nope. I don't know why.
I'm going to need to speak to the producer's manager.
You do?
I am.
You better piece of your mind. Hello, bitch.
I love your curls. I just got a haircut.
Thank you.
And my hair is trying to get back to its curliness. It was really nappy, really froey earlier, but I'm trying to get back to your beautiness. So one day I'll be like you.
Nappy is the thing to be, boo. Nappy is happy.
Nappy is happy. Yes, it is. All right. Well, I'm so happy that you're
free.
all this. So thank you again. And I'm just going to jump right
Thank
into
you for
it.
having me.
Of course. Go
ahead.
All right. Very good. So, of course, you have an extensive and storied history. You have seen the development, the growth, and the liberation of our community as it has unfolded. What are some of the most memorable moments or events that have helped shape your journey?
One of the biggest things that shaped me was going overseas and seeing how other people live. Seeing what freedoms that we have in this country. Meeting people, different sisters and brothers from other places. Because until you do that, you get kind of like centered on just one thing and always doing things the same way. If you don't get out of your norm and change up your environment once in a blue moon, you can become like stagnant. So that was a big thing for me as far as change. When I lived in Germany for about 2 years.
Okay, that makes sense. Some of my family is from Jamaica. Being gay in Jamaica is not really.
Girl.
It's not.
It's not. And the thing is, I feel, and I wish. I mean, if I ever came into any kind of money, I would love to have a hostel for people in like areas like that they can come to a safe environment and not worry about being their true self.
Mm-hmm.
Because I read the stories, I see the videos of what young trans people go through there, and it's horrendous.
It is horrendous. It is absolutely horrendous. What our community goes through in other parts of the world, it's really tragic. It really is. Even outside of our own country, in other parts of the world, it is truly tragic that people are being killed over just being themselves. It really is. We may live in a little bubble here, but
luckily, in the last couple of years, we've had laws put into effect to somewhat, tone that down. But there's still people out there getting hurt. But in certain countries, it's like you have no rights, you have no legality, you have no. I mean, basically, you have no rights all across the board.
Right. And if you're anyone who's on social media and you are, let's say, a trans person or you do drag, there are people who will openly attack you on social media for you just being yourself.
It's just another way of trying to bring somebody down. I mean, social media, it's as beautiful as it is, it's just for those people who want to sit behind and attack other people for, I mean, if you're mad at me for me living my life, then you really have the issue, not me.
Exactly. Let love or let be and live love happy. Whatever the sign you would see at Walmart that says live life and love. That's what it needs to be.
So you're nice. I've been like, leave me the F alone. I didn't curse though. I said F. I got some other letters in there too, but I ain't say them. But leave me the F alone. Live your life. Be happy. Don't have and a smile.
Yes. It is too painful to remain in the closet. You must come out. You must enjoy yourself. It is time, and this month is your time to come out.
You know what, baby? Not everybody has the inner strength to do that. And the thing is, I wish there were places that they could go to build themselves up to get to that point. Me, I've always been smooth and supple skin, but it's very strong. But I mean, it's like I've always had to, I live my life. I go to the rough neighborhoods. I go to the, quote unquote, uppity neighborhoods, and I've always been myself. And I come from a family of very strong people. If you do not, then you need to align yourself with somebody that can help you build yourself up in one way or another, so you can. And the thing is, I talk to girls who aren't as accomplished in their transition. Find somebody to help you. Get a second opinion. Because if you're getting clocked all the time, I mean, right now there's too many things out and available to help basically get to that image that you see in your head. Mm-hmm. So you won't get clocked so often. And that goes for male or female.
Right. All right. As I mentioned before, your performances in art have meaning, and it is very deliberate what you do. How do you incorporate your lived experiences as a person of color and an out and proud transgender woman in your work?
Well, I've learned at a certain point in my life, it was more than just jumping around on stage, getting a coin, and what have you. I mean, right now, there's too many things and too many issues out there that me as a woman of color, I would be remiss if I did not use a platform where I could talk to many people at one time, because I don't perform as much as I used to. So when I do go out, I make sure I have something to say. And I put thought into that before I get on stage.
Right.
I think more people need to, get into a mindset of like, okay, what are you saying? What are you representing when you go out on stage? I mean, yeah, when I was young, it was all about, catching dollars and, jumping off stage and going home. But now it's like we need people to like be more active and act. I don't want to say act up, but just, be vocal in what's going on in our society at this point.
Make some good trouble.
Again, trouble is my middle name, so.
Yeah.
I get in trouble all the time.
How do you use your art as a tool to bring about visibility, political action, and discussion of subjects that do affect our community?
Well, my art basically is a thought process of me taking in what I see around me and what things I'm visualizing and putting them out on paper and sculpture and drawings and such like that. I don't make work to be, controversial or anything like that. Sometimes I have to do it to get these thoughts and images out of my head. Especially when George Floyd like when George Floyd and all of these people are getting killed, we're bombarded with all these scenes of, police brutality and people dying. And at some point, I need to get those images out. And the best way for me, personally, is to put them in a form of art. And that's how I basically keep myself sane, and I don't go out there with a machine gun and shoot everybody down and stab everybody up.
Well, I don't think you would ever do that. You're too good of a heart to ever do that. What are you talking about?
Baby. Don't beat up. No, I would never. I'm out. No. But the thing is, you know what? You need to release, whether it's art, exercise, running, stamp book collecting, something to get those, the angst and frustration out of your body.
Right.
And art has always been mine. I love creating. I love making outfits. I love painting. Anything creative, I'm behind it 110%.
You pretty much make art out of anything. I've seen your art firsthand. You do. One of the pieces that you made, you actually hung the names of multiple people of color who have been killed, unfortunately, at the hands of the police. And I really appreciated that piece of art that you did.
Thank you,
It
love.
really speaks volumes to you. It does.
That for me was, again, it's like the ending up of all these cop killing. To me, all I saw were lynching. All I saw were modern day lynching, and it's like that I had to put into a piece, and then that piece turned into an actual tree. And I didn't want to do actual bodies, but I wanted to, let them know that these are like symbols and people. So I put names, and form. I gave it form and a name, so you could see that this thing was hanging from this tree. And the title of that piece was "Strange Fruit," which is, if anybody knows Billie Holiday, it was the song that she was targeted by our government for singing, and basically they prosecuted her because she was trying to make a stand on way black and brown people were being treated at that point in time. Mm-hmm. So it's sad that how many 50, 60, 70 years and things, we're still fighting the same fight, just in a different shape.
Yes, exactly. And again, it goes back to intersecting communities. We may be part of one community, but our community intersects with many others. The battles that we're enduring, exactly. The battles that we're enduring, we all benefit from if we all overcome it. So again, thank you for making these things visible. Absolutely.
Being part of, when I say Black Lives Matter, then I'm like, wait a minute. Majority of Black lives don't always see me. So why don't I say Black trans lives matter? But then it was like, that excludes like my family, my nephews, my nieces, so it's kind of a weird situation. And the thing is, being that we are at the bottom of the totem pole, if you gave all of us the rights, it would then help everyone above us. Okay, you don't have to, if they gave us rights, you wouldn't have to be a person of color, but you could use those same rights to protect yourself, whether you're white, Asian, Hispanic, Indian, because again, once the people on the bottom have rights, everyone above them have the same rights. It doesn't work. So if you notice, the rich get richer, and none of that trickles down.
Right.
The laws are made to help the rich, but they don't come down. But if you put the laws on the bottom to help the people on the bottom, it can only help more people on the way up.
Exactly. Rather than trickle down, we should be doing trickle up. And it's people, the pioneers such as yourself, that have trickled up. You have definitely lifted people such as myself out of the dark, lack of words, if that makes sense.
Girl,
so,
you in the dark?
Well, not anymore. So,
Come to the light, Carolyn. Come to the light. Come on.
come to the light. Absolutely. I will, as long as you hold my hand.
Always, baby. Always. You know Mama got you.
So with that being said, what does community mean to you? And in your opinion, how can we come together to become a more unified front?
We need to, as much as I would love to see it happen, people need to get over a lot of isms before that happens.
Yes.
Isms is meaning like racism, sexism, within our own community. Once those things happen, I think our community always, it's like you see certain family members at a funeral. When things go really, really bad, people come together. But as soon as they start getting, nice, we start to fan out and say, okay, well, we don't really need to be up underneath each other all the time. But that happens in our community too. It's like when we're fighting for one cause, we can come together and we can support it. And we have so much power when we do this. But the thing is, we need to always carry that through, not just for, like marriage equality. We got together, we fought that, then we kind of took a breath. And then it was something else, took a breath. We need to keep that momentum going.
Right.
I mean, our community has made many strides in the last, 60, 70 years.
Mm-hmm.
And this community in itself, the thing is, we've lost a lot of people who were instrumental in trying to keep us together. But I'm glad that the up and coming girls are trying, like Patrick. And all people from the Pride Center, they're doing so much to try and build our community back up and make it an inclusive thing. And the thing is, I wish we could all have like a central pride moment instead of always having to branch off into, different ethnic groups and, whatever. I understand them. I understand it. But we have more power when we're together.
Exactly. I completely agree.
We're stronger. Like when this thing goes, a fist with 5 fingers can strike a mighty blow, but only when they come together.
Only when they come together. Make sure you put those knuckles in the right spot. I'm just kidding.
Make sure my nails are done too.
Make sure you watch those nails. You have some nice nails on, bud.
Thank you.
So we're coming up on our end, but I do want to ask you something important.
Go ahead, baby.
As someone who has seen the change happen and knows what it was like back in the early days of our community's fight for equality and liberation, what are some pieces of advice you could give someone who's just coming into themselves?
My biggest thing is that give yourself time. Don't come out trying too hard. It's all a process. Let yourself be able to live in that process. Because no one comes out 100% and knows exactly what they need to look like, what they need to do. We learn. Some take a learning curve. Some people get there a little quicker than others. But give yourself, be patient with yourself and your family, and because the things as far as trans people, and it goes with gay people and lesbians also. We deal with it in our heads for years. Then we make that leap to come out, and we expect other people to be ready to accept that. And you have to understand it takes them just as long to deal and come to terms with the loss of who they thought you should be. But always stay fast and be, make sure that you're always trying to live your life. Remember that we only have one chance to go around, and you have to make sure you're happy.
Right.
Make sure you are happy before anybody else, because again, at the end of the day, no one's gonna treat you as better as you can treat yourself.
Right.
Sad to say.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. Keep up all your good work. You are truly a treasure, And again, thank you for all that you're doing to bring visibility, to bring awareness, to bring so much to the multiple communities that we may not all intersect on a daily basis. You are doing the good work, and I appreciate everything you're doing. Thank you.
You're welcome, Boo. Thank you for having me.
Of
Pride,
course.
everybody. Remember, Pride all day long, every day, not just one time a year.
Exactly. 365 days, sometimes 366 when it's leap year.
Thank you,
Exactly.
Bubbles.
Thank you, Bubbles. We love you.
Love you back.
Oh my God. Oh, we love Tia Lynn Waters. Thank you, Bubbles, so much for your time. And look who
There's a mannequin here.
There's a mannequin. It's
Okay,
moving.
moving.
It's moving. Oh my God, it's moving. I can't take it. And so, all right, baby, who is this?
So I have to do the full. There's a script. So I have to
There's
do
a script.
The entire bio. A legendary drag performer, teacher, dancer, actor, community advocate, mother to many, beloved spouse to Emperor 2013 Trevor Reynolds. Morgana is always there when you need her.
Yes.
She is a fiercely dedicated community leader for the LGBTQIA+ community in Connecticut and beyond. She is also Miss Frank's mother, my grandmother, and mother to Reign 22.
Yes, please welcome Empress 13, Morgana Deluxe.
2013.
2013.
Thank you.
Godma.
Hello, puppies.
So we are welcoming Morgana on. She's going to perform for you for a minute. We have amazing guests today. I mean, Diana Lombardi, Tia Lynn Waters, otherwise known as Bubbles, and Morgana Deluxe. Oh my goodness, we are so lucky here on CT Connection. And so tell us, please, Mother Darling, please tell us, please, about your time as a 20-plus year member of the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut, and how has Pride changed over the years from your perspective?
Okay, so I'll start with the first part. How being a 20-plus year member. It was funny because Trevor and I were just sitting talking last night, and 10 years ago, I said, if you'd asked the two of us, are you going to reign? We would have said, someday. And 2 years later, we reigned.
Right.
I believe in the causes of the Imperial Sovereign Court of all Connecticut and what they stand for. And one of the lessons that the great late Roger Philip Morgan taught me was the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. So you need to give back to the community. We lived in West Hartford, darling, and we had to drive by the American School for the Deaf on our way to visit my grandmother. And my father would say a prayer and thank God for the blessings that you have and for those who are less fortunate and the things that other people don't have. So that was ingrained in me at a young age. So the court has kind of helped me do this mission throughout all the years that it has done. Yes, I'm an attention, HOAR. I'll say it that way. It's the Irish spelling.
What?
But I do it out of love and whatnot. And how has Pride changed? Well, 30 years ago, a friend of mine and I were asked if we would dance at Pride. And we said, sure, but I wasn't out. So I said, okay, here's the 411. If a camera comes up to the stage, or if somebody comes up to us, dive to the stage, and we'll revamp the number lying on the floor. Yes, so luckily that didn't happen, but I had that exit strategy, exit stage left planned for how Pride has changed drastically and wonderfully. And I have to reiterate what everybody else has been saying. We celebrate Pride during the month of June, but we need to do it all year long.
Yeah.
I was 35 when I sat down. My parents had told them I was gay, and I'm a gentleman/lady of a certain age. And for my era of people, I won't say my generation, but my era people, coming out was not as easy as it is today. I mean, parents still throw them out. I grew up in a very Irish Catholic household, so I wasn't sure how my parents were going to take it. And so Pride is a way to acknowledge it. And one of the things my dear mother said to me was, okay, we understand you're a drag queen, but please don't march in any Pride parades or be in any floats. Well, it was too late for that because I'd already done both.
Yes, you would.
Yes.
Let me tell you. And, I will say, Vu and I are Emperor and Empress this year. We're very privileged to have been voted so. But I'm not sure if we would have run or felt prepared to run for that office if it were not for Morgana and Trevor. In particular, because
Face them.
Okay.
See, I'm a control freak.
She's also a lady of the theater, so she knows about cheating.
Yes.
I'm also Lady of the Theater. How dare you?
So given that you came from an Irish conservative household,
Yes.
could you tell us how Morgana even came about and how you felt comfortable enough to create this persona for
You
yourself?
can tell us, Morgana.
So it's funny how it all started was in 1987. Picture it, New York City gay pride. No, Halloween. Two of my friends said, "Let's go to this party in New York as drag queens. Don't cut your hair. We'll all grow our hair out." They both had job interviews and cut their hair. So here I am with my own hair out to about here because I had hair back then. I put a little bow in my hair. It looked like Rosemarie from the Dick Van Dyke Show. For those of you who know who she is.
Anybody? No.
And I found a pair of heels with these fabulous black pumps with silver sequin bows. I never walked in them. So we decided my name was Morgana Manhattan. Yes. And my friends were Dolores Del Rio and Blanche Dubois. So the three of us went, and they called us, ironically, the Harlots from Hartford. So, but that then morphed into the Hartford Harlettes, spelled like Rockettes, only older, heavier, fattier, and hairier.
What did you call me?
I didn't. So when we started the Harlettes, I was Trixie. Where I came up with that name, I do not know. And then
I could see Trixie.
okay,
Yeah.
so then we went to the infamous Halloween party at Nick's Cafe on Broad Street, and a friend of mine had gone to LA, a friend of one of the four original Harlettes, Empress, Buddy Louise spends a lot. I don't remember what year. I'm not going to get into all that. So, and it was dating Emperor Ray at the time. I know, picture that. And he said, "Can you get your hands on some cheerleading skirts and pom-poms?" So I was coaching high school cheerleading. So I borrowed some skirts, borrowed some pom-poms, and I came up with a name, and we hand stenciled sweatshirts with Hartford, a megaphone, and Harlettes, and then red glitter. That apartment probably still has red glitter into this day.
Yeah.
And so we went to Nick's and did that. And then from that, the Harlettes got more and more gigs. And then we were asked to do a New Year's Eve show, provide the whole show. So I staged the now famous No More I Love Yous ballet number.
Oh, if
yes.
you have not seen Annie Lennox, No More I Love Yous, as performed by Morgana Deluxe and the Harlettes. Do I smell a command at our ball?
Ooh.
Perhaps you will see that if you attend our ball, February 19th, 2022.
Okay. So that year, the president of the Project 100 Community Center said, "We do a cabaret in January. Would you guys come to perform?" So we said, "Absolutely, we go." And then that was the same year the Polo Club opened.
Yes.
And the owners of the Polo came in and said, they called me into the club the day after the thing, and I'm nervous because it was God love them, Sean and Ralph Arena, but those who knew them, they were very intimidating people. So I bet you that no was Dan McCarthy.
Fruit, mother.
Okay. So.
And with that said,
So let me finish. So
okay.
They offered me a job to come and work, but you had to be a cocktail waitress. Can you picture me in heels trying to carry cocktails?
Yes.
Well, okay. So but I was working as a cocktail waiter at Nick's, and I didn't know how to quit. So I finally quit Nick's, and then I went over to the Polo Club. And a friend of mine at one point had said, "We're going on the road, Morgana Deluxe and Beatrix Black." Hence Morgana Deluxe.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, if you will.
Yes. You can
Yes.
just imagine.
And folks, that was our rendition of War and Peace or Jane Eyre, or whatever you would choose. Kate, I need a confirmation on who Facebook user is because they are following right along. It's either Trevor or Dan.
Yes.
It's one of the two.
Yes, and so we are now very privileged because the one and only Morgana Deluxe is going to perform for us. So are you ready, Mother?
I'm ready.
Fruit before you begin?
I already ate one. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We ready to go?
Take it away.
All right, Morgana Deluxe.
I am my own special creation. So come take a look, give me the hook or the ovation. It's my world and I wanna have a little pride in my world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say I am what I am. I deal my own deck. Sometimes the A, sometimes the juices. It's one life and there's no return, no deposit. One life, so it's time to open up your closet. Life's not worth a damn, still you can shout out.
Yes!
Get it.
Come on, Morgana Deluxe! Yes!
Morgana, you are not muted when you are performing.
But do you love the demands? Fan!
Fan, please.
Fan!
You forget.
Mother darling, we love you. Thank you for being on.
You're welcome.
I love you. No kisses from Boo!
No, I was waiting for him to look this way.
Oh!
I was waiting for
You told me to cheat towards the camera.
I know. All right, here we go. Hollywood kiss.
Okay. Mwah. Mwah. Let me help you rise, mother darling. Oh,
Thank
look
you.
at the fabulousness. Ooh.
Oh, boobs at the same time.
Oh, Boo. We love you. And look who we have here randomly, besides Morgana walking away. We have our Imperial Crown Princess, Bonnie Petite, and we have our Imperial Crown Infante, Anna Alexander. They just happened to be here, you know, dressed fabulously. Wanted to say hi. Hi, darlings.
Hello.
How you doing?
Great.
Look at the royal family of Connecticut, everybody.
JC Penny screenshot.
Yeah. Glamour shots. Anna, do your pose.
I hope y'all are screenshotting all of this.
Hope you're loving this. So we wanted to just reintroduce our darlings to you. We could not do the work that we're doing without these two amazing people. And so 15 seconds of fame. Say what you want to say.
Happy Pride, everyone! Happy Pride!
Hi. I love you. See?
And with that, we are ready to bring on Pride. If you look it up in the dictionary, I'm pretty sure this next person shows up.
Oh, there's no question about it. Absolutely no question about it. So we are introducing Emperor Tree of the Imperial Court of New York, two-time and current reigning Emperor of the Imperial Court of New York. Stonewall veteran and father to our community, Tree is a selfless advocate for LGBTQIA+ people worldwide. Having given speeches in over 20 countries, he is the recipient of multiple awards, keys to cities, and has been on television and film and heard on the radio stations near and far talking about LGBTQIA+ civil rights and Stonewall. Please enjoy this video interview that we had with Tree about a week ago. You will love him as much as we do. Tree, mwah. One of truly the most amazing human beings on the face of the earth, ladies and gentlemen, and those in between. Thank you so much for being with us, Tree.
All right, I just want to forgive myself for this bandage, but I was tree trimmed the other day, and they took out too much of my root.
It's a fabulous accessory. Just put a thorn pin on it.
No,
You know what I mean?
I tried putting a hat on, it hurt, so I said no.
You look fabulous. You look fabulous.
You do.
So this episode of CT Connection is our Pride kickoff. It's the beginning of June. We are in Pride season. And we know that you have a very long history with Stonewall. And as we celebrate Pride and we think about Stonewall, what are the lessons that you think of when you think back to that time and what we should be remembering about the season?
Well, in those days, I worked at a restaurant called Mama's Chicken Ribs. It was a day restaurant. And it was right around the corner from Stonewall. So when we used to get off work, we'd say, let's go to Stonewall. And we'd walk up Christopher Street past the cops who were watching everybody. And somebody would say to me, Treat, does your father work? I go, oh, no, he's a cop. And we keep walking. What's a penny made of? Somebody would holler, dirty coppers. And we keep walking. We go to the bar, knock on the door. They let us in if they recognized us. And we went in. You had to sign a book because they were trying to convince the police this was a private club, not a gay bar. And my name in those days was Fenwick Fingernail. And that's what I wrote. People would write Judy Garland, Queen Elizabeth II, Mary Dugan, whatever name you wanted to write, as long as you signed the book. And we go into the other room, which is now the bar, because that used to be just a dance floor. And now, because the other side, the empty store was your entrance. And we'd go in and dance and carry on. Now, we went to jail 10, 12 times every couple of weeks because they raided the bars, not because they were homosexual hangouts, because they wanted a little more money from the mafia bosses. You pay, we play. But I did not know that night was going to be the night of all nights. In my interviews, I always say I was the right place at the wrong time or the wrong place at the right time. And we were just dancing when we heard screaming, carry on, the music stopped. And with this little drag queen we knew named Gypsy, she screamed, don't touch me, my husband's a cop. And we figured it was another raid. And we went through all the motions. The cops lined us up. They let certain people out that had ID. We never carried ID. There was no draft. If I would have got killed, my mother would have never known. And eventually a cop from the neighborhood saw us and let us sneak out because we had a Catholic priest with us. And in 1969, that was not a good thing to do. And Gregory got out. And while we were outside, Gregory ran. We stayed there, and we heard the window break. And for years, they always said it was Marsha B. Johnson that threw the first stone. And eventually, she admitted she didn't get there till 2 a.m. She never threw the first stone. To this day, nobody knows who threw the first stone. And we were having fun, setting police cars on fire and running around. Now, I was a goody two-shoes all my life, and here I am being bad, and I loved every minute of it. We saw the riot police come and cameras from TV and we all ran back to Mama's Chicken Rib because at least 5% of our friends, their family never knew they were gay, including me. Russian Orthodox family, it would have been very, it's like top Christians, and I kept saying, I can't be seen. So we went back to Mama's Chicken Rib, and we said, if the cops come here, because it was well known, in fact, we had a coffee cup with money for the police when they came in. And we said, we'll say we stayed here all night long, but they never came in. The next night we went back because it was going crazy, fires everywhere. And my friend Charlie, and we just lost Bubbles last week. My friend Frankie died of a massive heart attack at 70. Everybody had nicknames, Bubble, Crystal, And I didn't have one. I was always Tree or Mom. And when we saw the cameras and TV and everything, we all said, this is it. We can't come back anymore. And that was it for us for a while. Then they still raided bars for a while after that. It was always for payoffs, though. Always. Brown Bag Friday, they called it. And that's 1969, and we're still having gay bashing in 2021 because the neighbors knew it was a gay bar. We didn't bother anybody. We didn't run around the streets like crazy. We went in and we came out.
Yeah.
Nowadays you could stand in front of the bar for 4 hours and talk. Years ago, that was called congregating for homosexual activities.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we take that for granted. I mean, me and Frank were just at our home bar this past week, and we take for granted that we're able to sit and commune and be with people that are like us. And not too long ago, I mean, Stonewall was not that long ago that none of this was possible. So it just kind of reminds us to be appreciative of it and that things aren't where they should be now, but we have to remember where we came from and appreciate what we have.
Yeah, definitely. And we're so lucky and grateful that you are describing this to us, because I think, as Vu said, we're also living in a different time where I think sometimes the youth of our movement know so little about their history. And also therefore do not recognize how vulnerable we still are
Oh yeah.
as a community. I mean, we look at the last administration, right? And we see that if Trump had won again, he would have advanced more and more diminishment of LGBTQ rights.
Especially with the vice president. Very anti-gay.
Yes, very much so. But because of your experiences, because of the people that you have met, because of the community that you have built, all these amazing people that you were naming, and because you lived through that experience, you have traveled all around the world as an advocate, as a fundraiser, as a father to many. And so in addition to that, multiple awards, multiple honors. Can you pinpoint one experience around the world where you have been a speaker, where you have been honored, that was most poignant to you, or that was most sort of life affirming for you?
Well, they were all very exciting, amazing. Going to Austria, making a speech, 2 speeches, one before 75,000 people, and another one before almost 400,000 people, meeting the president, the past president, the mayor, members of parliament, seeing the beautiful city that I hadn't seen in 30 years because I went 30 years earlier. That was amazing. Raising the flag, and the gay flag, with the mayor of Cologne, Germany, which is the gayest city in Germany. And and then the State Department sending me to Serbia and the Ukraine to help them with their gay rights movements. They're coming out of darkness. I had to make speeches in countries where the boys were afraid to be seen in public as gay because they don't know what's going to happen. And I was a little nervous because, it's very, very anti-gay Russian Orthodox Christian community there. I met the prime minister. She's a lesbian with a baby and a girlfriend, but she can't talk about gay rights or she gets fired. But she can talk about it on Pride Day when she's interviewed. Wow. And I was supposed to be in Greece last year. That was canceled during the pandemic.
Right.
Becoming an honorary citizen, an honorary this, an honorary that, getting keys to cities. Naples, I loved. I had pizza where pizza was invented. And the funny thing is, my friends here, my kids in the court system, laugh because I keep in touch with everybody I met. I have their phone number, email, or we're on Facebook. Every once in a while, I just sit down and pick a country and say hello.
Yeah, literally. And for our viewers, Tree can truly do that. You can look at a map and go, let's contact them today.
Yeah. And I mean, with all the great and amazing people that you have met, we are so honored that you took a little bit of time out of your day to join the two of us. I mean, these two nobodies here.
I do anything for Connecticut. I have a mentor and mentress in Connecticut that when I call them up with a problem, they answer it. And that's Morgana and Trevor. Whenever I have a problem, I call them up. I say, I need help. And, I love them dearly, dearly, dearly.
And we do the same.
They're our parents. I'm a deluxe girl, that's for sure. I'm a deluxe.
I'm a tree climber. Kiki is my tree climber.
Yep, and Kiki.
Her and John jump on top of me, and everybody called them tree climbers. It's like when Elvis Duran from Z100 sees me, he needs a tree hug.
I mean, we all need a tree hug.
We all need a tree hug. We all need a tree hug.
And you can all fit in here. Believe me, you can all fit in here.
Yes. And with things going the way they are and more and more folks being vaccinated, hopefully we can all see each other soon. And I know you have so much planned with the Imperial Court of New York, just stepping up as emperor once again. So anything new and interesting and exciting that you want to tell us about?
Well, I'm stuck with her again.
We won't tell her you said that. We won't tell her.
I love my sugar. When we stepped up 5 years ago, we looked at each other like, who are you? Who are you? She asked questions. I asked questions. And we had a year of hugging, kissing, and giggling. We had a dowager year of the same. And I'm looking forward to another year with driving her crazy and her driving me crazy. I'm having a recording made on my phone that when she talks to me, it's just I press a button, it goes, yes, dear. Yes, dear.
Vu, yeah. I think that's a great idea from Tree.
Yes. If you could just order 2, Tree, I will take the second one, please and thank you.
I have so much fun with her. I just love her to death.
Well, we love Sugar too, and Sugar, you and Sugar were actually some of the first people that I met in the court system, and you probably don't remember because you've met many, 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 many people. But years before I was ever a member of any court, I brought a bunch of little queerlies, little queer darlings to New York City. And they were not of age. And I guess they were of age. And I went into Stonewall and I said to a random nice man, hey, I have some kids. They're queer kids. They came to Stonewall. You know, could they at least come in? And this man said, yeah, bring them in the back. I'll talk to them. And that was Tree.
Oh, really?
That was Tree. That was you. And I'll never forget that. And you spoke to my students for about half an hour. And they were just like this, just amazed.
The kids have to know, when people, there were times after 30 times I get tired. So when people, what happened that day? I go to Google. You Google Tree bartender or Tree Stonewall, you'll see almost every interview and everything around the world, newspapers, magazines, and I just look at myself once in a while going, how the hell did this happen to you? And my best friend, Johnny Poole, who 60-year friendship, we almost lost him, but he survived. We look at each other when all our friends are dying or dead and say, why are we still alive? I think it's because we were careful.
Mm-hmm. And you were meant to be, and we need you.
Yes.
And so thank you so much once again for coming on and letting the youth know and letting everyone out there know what our history is and who we are. And we just couldn't be more honored to have you, Emperor Tree of the Imperial Court of New York.
Because Tree said it all. Boy, oh boy, Tree is, hope everyone can hear us. Yes, we're good. Technical difficulties galore today, but you know what? Who cares? Because it's about community, fun, and family. That's what CT Connection is all about, right, Boo Boo?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and that was an honor. I mean, as Tree said, at this point, he's told that story so many times, and he said you can Google it now. But hearing that first person was just an honor and a privilege for us.
Oh, no question.
And sharing that story with all of y'all, I mean, that's what Pride is all about.
That's right. And as Tree said so perfectly, Google it. So it is that time. We are ready to auction off our gorgeous, gorgeous jewelry set. So just look at these fabulous earrings and ring. They are red and they are like a black, sort of like cloudy stone. Absolutely beautiful. This is what it looks like on my hand. Mr. Producer, if you can show that. If you can show it on our hand, that would be great. Yes. Look how pretty that is. I think that red stone is called Siam. Isn't that lovely? And these are attached by magnets. Look how gorgeous those are. They're very light. They are not too terribly long.
No.
Right? And we are starting the bidding off at $60, darlings. $60. Net proceeds go to our 3 beneficiaries. So please, yes, for $60. Oh, my goodness. Wow. So we had one bid at $60. Do we have 65? Look how lovely. That Siam red and that deeper red and that cloudy black stone. Isn't that lovely? All closed in the back. Looks fabulous on you, darling. Look at that.
This might be a new aesthetic.
Yes, I think so. I think so. Why not?
Because really, it's Pride. I mean, men can wear earrings.
Yeah.
Women cannot wear earrings.
Yeah.
Like, do whatever you want to do. So,
yeah.
All the boys out there, if you want to walk down the street in these earrings, come through.
Do it. Oh my God. We have Empress 30 of the Imperial Court of Buffalo, PJ Wolf, in the house. Hello, darling. Hip hip hooray. We love you. Congratulations to you and David.
And currently, Connie from Buffalo has the high bid at $65.
Oh my goodness, $65. We cannot wait to see Connie next weekend. We're so excited. We're going to have such a good time. Someone came in with a bid underneath, honey, for $70. Kyle Edwards. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my goodness. So we are currently at 70. Look how they sparkle. Look how they sparkle. It's mine. Ooh. Oh, my goodness. People are getting sassy and classy. Okay, that's all right. So Again, look at this ring. Look how pretty that is. Look how dainty. I can't wear it because, let's be honest, I'm not dainty. So look how pretty that is. Look at the nails. I feel like I'm on QVC.
And Pup Bolt's coming through with a bid of $75.
Oh, Pup. Hello, my darling. Hello, honey. We love you so much. Oh, my gosh. 75. Oh, my God. Look how you put one on. I'll put the other one on. Look at that. I have earrings.
Never. Does the magnet stick?
Oh, yes, honey.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That is impressive.
It is on there. These magnets, honey. No. Oh, honey. Thank you so much. Oh, God. Let me tell you. So, PJ, thank you so much for saying I look gorgeous. That's real charity. I really appreciate it. I love you, honey. But yes, so oh my God, Kyle at 80. Oh, you have a bidding war.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show facing this way.
Yeah, I think you should. It looks absolutely fabulous. It looks great. I have little button earrings, so it won't go. But if you've never worn magnets before, did you hear that? These are not going anywhere. No glue on the back of these, baby.
But
that's right, Crystal. Girls are fighting. Yeah,
super comfortable.
Super comfortable, super light, right? This is adjustable for larger fingers. I'm talking about my sausage fingers over here. Yes. So we have a high bid from Kyle Edwards at 80. You both look fabulous, Cameron. Oh, Connie, we love you. We can't wait. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to have so much fun. So I feel like we should do a bit of a countdown. What do you think?
I think that sounds wonderful.
Okay, so you do the countdown. I'll do a dance.
10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and in 1.
Okay, so we have to call it for Kyle Edwards at 80. Okay, thank you so very much to all that bid, honey. And they are a gift for Kiki Lucia. Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise.
Kyle, I thought we were going to see you in.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, Kyle. I thought that, it's fine.
Love you, Kiki.
Don't give these to Kiki. Don't do it. Love you, Kiki. Okay, so anyway, we are so see, that's our producer. That's our producer. How dare she? How very dare she? How very dare you, sir? So we are so privileged to have had our amazing guests on today. Diana Lombardi,
Morgana Deluxe,
Teal'c Waters, otherwise known as Bubbles,
and Tree.
Oh boy, and of course our Imperial Crown Princess Bonnie Petit, our Imperial Crown Prince, Imperial Crown Infante, Anna Alexander. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This was super fun.
And our next show is June 20th.
Yes.
We are pushing it back a half hour because we actually do have another Pride delivery that day. So we have a great spectrum of guests highlighting the amazing staff at the New Haven Pride Center.
Yes, and other community organizations. And so we have Patrick Dunn, we have Juan Carlos Soto, Ala Oshumare, and Destiny B. Childs as our fabulous performance spotlight. Yes, at 2:30 on the 20th, my darlings. And so I think it's that time.
It is that time.
I don't know if anyone wants to hear me sing, but I'm going to sing anyway because I like singing. Are you ready for your dance? You took a little sippy?
I am.
Okay, all right. So signing off, Empress 22, Miss Frank.
Empress 22, boo.
Okay, and here we go. And hey, old friend, what do you say? Old friends, are you okay? Old friends, aren't we unique? Time goes by, everything else keeps changing. You and us, we get continued next week, literally. Most friends fade or they don't make the grade. New ones are quickly made and in a pinch, sure they'll do. But us, old friend, what's to discuss? Old friend, here's to us, who's like us, damn few. Thank you.
Happy Pride, everyone.
Happy Pride, love you.